see. Check 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me come up a little bit. See here. All righty. All right. So what is happening? I'm a little bit early. I'm like a fat kid showing up for a date a little bit early. So shout out to Google. Got me my AdSense money today. I am officially rich. I'm one step closer to getting that 8K TV. So shout out to everybody for that. Also, one step closer to getting my Hotus joystick, and another step closer to getting the CPU, the Ryzen 2600. So shout out to everybody that has donated. But what is going on, people? What is happening? Let's been waiting for a couple more people to jump on, and I hear that there was some wind. Let's see here. I think we have been joined. Oh yeah! Shout out here. Shout out to Lincoln Clay.
How do, mister?
How you doing?
I had to explain to the Melage that I would be away on business, and they were to tend to the invisible dome while I'm gone.
I love it. All right. Now, is that you with something speaking in the background, or is it me?
That's me. 1 second. I'll be right back. Let me go shut it off.
No, you're fine. I'm loading up the big news of the day.
Okay, 1 second.
God damn it. That's not what I wanted to load up. Here's what I wanted to load up. Let's see here. But shout out to everybody in the chat. What is happening? What is happening? I got it loaded up here. And we are joined. Oh my. Can I help a little? How you doing there, Vieratron? Rudy Bear. Man, turn that shit down in the background, guys. So what is happening? What is happening?
Oh, not this dude. Bringing all that noise with him.
Beep bop, beep boop bop.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
What is happening? What is happening? Oh yes. All right, the gang's here. Yeah, Diver, jump on when if you can get to a spot. Love to have your opinion on this, brother. First things first, welcome everybody to the Porchlyte podcast. We're joined by Lincoln Clay, Diver, whose mic is noisy as hell. And can I help little Vieratron here? Just looking at the thing. Shout out to you, Viera. And the man of the hour, Mr. 8K himself, J-Dub City. What is happening, everybody? We'll go left to right. J-Dub, if you're still here, he may have felt. So,
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. All righty. Yeah, go ahead and shout yourself out, J-Dub.
Hey, everybody. It's your boy, J-Dub, a.k.a. Kratos, the god of PlayStation and all things gaming. I am here with Craig and the panel. Let's get it.
All righty. Miss Vieratron, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. This is Vieratron. I just came here to have fun and learn some more news so far.
Huge news broke today. It was about an hour ago. Huge news. So, and Mr. T'Challa himself, Lincoln Clay, has left Wakanda he is on a covert mission here tonight to hang out on the porch. He told the Dora Milaje he's gonna step out. They can hold it down for him. Shout yourself out there, Lincoln.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, Lincoln Clay, the godfather of gaming, the ageless wonder, down with Craig Harris on the Porchlyte podcast. And if I may take a moment, I want to inform everybody that tomorrow I will be doing a party stream called the Friday Night Jam, where I'll be playing the hottest RB, rap, and hip hop songs on Beat Saber. And I did get a webcam, so you can watch me dance too as I'm playing these songs. So make sure you check it out tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern.
All right. Well, there you go. Shout out to Lincoln Clay. And everybody watch that. It's Friday night. I mean, what else you going to do? You can watch a black man dance. I mean, come on. My man's going to be putting on a show in his living room area.
It's going to be a party. It's going to be a party.
There you go. So everybody in the chat, what is happening? What is happening? John Tuco Game 3, JP Loco. All right, first things first. JP Loco, you are in Australia. What time is it in Australia? I mean, I'm serious, because it's like 10 o'clock Eastern time in the States. I know where Vieira is. It's like 7 o'clock. So she's still good. J-Dub, I think he's in the Central time zone. First of all, J-Dub, how is your family doing? I saw the flooding in Houston, and how are you and your family doing?
Everybody's good, man. Everybody's good. Can't complain. Yeah,
Alrighty.
That's kind of what we deal with here down south. You know, a lot of rain, you know, a lot of droughts too. So. But
yeah,
it's doing good. I'm good. Thanks for asking.
All right, no problem, no problem. All right, then. We're joined by the real P3. I see here, but the panel's kind of loading up here. All righty,
What's up, bro?
What's happening? What's happening? The real P3. JP Local said it's noon and he's at lunch. Well, all right, then. Well, shout out to everybody in the chat. Impatient Fire. Hopefully, everybody has been enjoying my Mass Effect streams, courtesy of OBS, and also one Andrew Wilkins, who failed to donate to the cause. Therefore, you are going to get a litany of Mass Effect 2 until he comes through. I'm a man of my word. I love playing Mass Effect. As a Big Cloud saw me playing the other day, and he said, quote, the man is obsessed with this game, end quote. And he's right. He's not taking a shot. That's the way it is. But what is happening? The Surge, what's happening? Everybody gets a Surge protector. Jemiah, NWO PC, I feel you right there. Hopefully that 2080 Ti is doing as good as my 580. I don't think it is, because you pay like $50,000 for it, but you got to pay the cost to be the cost. All right, so let's get into it. I need the panels. I mean, this huge news today. I mean, this just broke across the wire. I didn't know if people saw this. I will share my screen, and I need everybody's reaction to this, because this is giant news. And I will put it up on the screen. And J-Dub, what do you think about Rob Pattinson to play the Cape Crusader from Matt Reeves' The Batman? We'll start with you, brother. Go ahead. And what do you think about this? J-Dub?
Man, I'm going to tell you this. I don't know. I don't know. It's all these. It's like almost every other movie, man, is a different Batman. I don't know. You know, once I finally warmed up to Ben Affleck, I finally warmed up to him, and I was like, okay, well, he didn't do as bad as I thought he was going to do, or whatever, and now it's something else. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell they doing over there at DC and those guys with these particular movies. Maybe I'm looking for someone like the Iron Man that can stay that character. Once you get warmed up to that character in the movies and stuff like that, first I thought it was Kristen Bell, then Ben Affleck, now it's somebody else. It's kind of hard for them to find their groove.
Yeah,
you're going to start losing the audience when you keep doing that.
Yeah, I just watched Batman Begins again. I can't remember if it was on Amazon or Hulu, and that's still one of the best comic book movies I've seen. Yeah, it's just a really good movie. So, all right, what do you think, Vieira Tron? I should have started with ladies first, but I'm drinking, so forgive my rudeness. But what do you think, Vieira?
I have no idea. I'm surprised. I'm just as surprised as you are. I feel like British act. Is that like Robert Pattinson's the British actor, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that he's playing as Batman. What is up with the British and Australian playing as American or Western superheroes? I just noticed that as a pattern. I just noticed it as a huge pattern. I have no problem with it. I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke, but like somebody said, and shout out to I forgot who put this on Twitter. They said, well, he's already been a vampire, so it makes sense for him to be a bat. I'm like, well, they both suck, so I guess you got a good point. All right, what do you think there, Lincoln Clay? How you doing, brother? And shout out to you for jumping on. What do you think about Matt Reeves? Roughly taking a chance with this Batman, but what do you think about Robert Pattinson playing?
It's not just him. My big thing with a lot of these Batman movies is I just don't think they've found the right person to embrace everything that Batman is, to be the perfect Bruce Wayne and the perfect Batman. When they did that first Batman with Michael Keaton playing Batman, I was like, are you kidding me? And then it was like with Val Kilmer, I'm like, okay, so now you got a mullet playing Batman, and then George Clooney, oh my God, the way he just kept bobbing his head every time he talked, that was like, I could only put up about 5 minutes of that movie.
Yeah, that movie was fucking terrible.
Christian Bale playing Batman. I wasn't for it. It took me a minute to warm up to it, and when I started warming up to it, I think it got a little ridiculous. With that grunty voice and stuff like that, I think it was overkill. I don't know. I think maybe Ben Affleck might have been the closest thing we might have had to being what Batman and Bruce Wayne is. But I don't really care for the way those movies were written. But I think that take the Iron Man for instance. I think Tom Cruise turning down the part of Iron Man was the best thing that probably ever happened to that character, because I think that Robert Downey Jr. played the shit out of Tony Stark.
And Robert.
I only see him as Iron Man. I can't see nobody else.
I agree. But they couldn't. A lot of studios didn't want to insure Robert Downey Jr. It took Tom Cruise had to pretty much say, "I got to finish filming Mission Impossible 2." I think he was like, "Y'all gonna have to wait," and Favreau was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna wait." So they went with him, and it worked. You're right. I agree with what Diver just said.
But I get what but I know that Robert Downey Jr. was a liability because of his past.
Yes, you're right.
But hey, I'm hoping to God that that Iron Man role gave him a second chance. You know what I mean? And I hope he don't screw it up. But back to this Batman thing. I don't know. This dude looked like he hang out at a midnight coffee house or something like that. He just don't. To me, he just don't.
He don't embody the physicalness that Batman.
Yeah,
brings.
because the thing about I'm just as intrigued about Bruce Wayne as I am about Batman, because if you watch some of these animated movies throughout the years, he may be a public figure, but in his private moments, you can see the scowl on his face, the hatred, the bitterness in him, and that's what I want to see. So whoever plays the part, I want them to be, basically have what's the word I'm looking for? Have a persona where they have a public persona, and then behind closed doors, they mad as fuck, and because every night he go out there, he's on the verge of killing somebody because he's filled with so much anger and bitterness.
Yeah, that's a good point. Anybody else want to chime in before we get to what Google did to Microsoft today?
Who did you say, Craig? About Batman.
Okay.
Craig, who did you say is playing Batman this time?
All right, over on the screen, it's got Robert Pattinson. It's been confirmed that.
Hold on, let me look on your screen. I'm sorry, Greg.
No, you're good. You're good.
The dude from Twilight.
Yeah, it just broke like an hour ago.
What?
This is like the big news of
the day. Fuck?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Is he gonna sparkle when he goes into the sunlight?
Yeah. Oh man.
I hope this isn't another origin movie where they tell for the 98th time how he became Batman.
Oh yeah, that I hope they don't do. I hope it picks up after.
I'm not watching that.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't watching it. This is the streaming bullshit. Also, the Batgirl trailer just came out today, or Batwoman. I'm sorry, because of
how was that?
Things. She looks bad as hell. Now you talk about somebody walking around with a scowl on their face. That bitch looked mad just to wake up. She looks like she's pissed off. So I think
you mad at Bacon, nigga?
Huh? Well, she might. I don't know. I liked her. I like her as Batwoman, or what do you want to call her? So I'm going to watch that series. So it's taking the place of Arrow, because Arrow is off the air now, which I didn't even know that was happening, because that turned into garbage. Especially
it was good for a good while. Arrow was good and just got boring.
Yeah. Well, when he said he had a kid, first thing I was happy because Arrow don't be pulling out, and that's cool. But it just got stupid after that. It just got stupid after. It's like the writing got stupid after.
Okay, let me just tell you something here. Every
Okay.
time a TV show announced they have a kid or they have a kid or something, the show gets stupid because it goes to like it takes away of the. It just takes away everything because it's focusing on the kid, but not what the actual missions that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what did Google do to Microsoft?
Did you not know that Stadia actually has an artificial intelligence in it? Do you all not know that?
It's a
AI. It has a biometric AI in it that they've already measured your response and how you're going to interpret information with their device.
They got their own Katana.
Yeah, they have their own Cortana. They have their own AI, a true AI, a learning AI. They have the most advanced AI on the planet. So I want to bring in J-Dub here because I heard him on another podcast. Of course, I named mine differently because Microsoft has leased out. Now, the reason they're doing this is because they're trying to get ahead of Stadia. You can't get out of the way of Stadia. Stadia is going to take over gaming. It's just too advanced. It's too easy to use. But check it out. J-Dub, what is your opinion on this? I saw you changed your symbol on Twitter.
Hey, man.
So, but because the way I was told this about a week and a half ago by my friend. He's a district manager at GameStop, and he said what Microsoft is going to do is going to be great for gamers, but it's going to be terrible for Xbox. Now, we're talking about Microsoft here, not Xbox. That's the first thing. Everybody's got to calm down. So what exactly are we looking at here? Because I can tell you what I know, but I want everybody to go first. And this is not to cut nobody off, but I just want to get everybody's opinion because it seems like I got home and I had 115 of those little bubble things on Twitter. So I'm going to talk to J-Dub because he is the tech. He's the tech guy here, and they're not making fun of J-Dub on 3 different continents like they are D-Back. So go ahead and shout out J-Dub and go ahead and what do you think, brother?
There you go. Wait, man. Hey, you know what I do. Almost every day I'll change my logo or whatever the topic of the day.
Yeah, that shit had me dying.
Yeah. And, so again, it's for the laughs and stuff. I try to get you guys, kind of off balance with that. But what happened today, man? I think it's 2 companies realize that they have 2 totally different needs. So whereas Microsoft doesn't necessarily want to compete in the high-end console type realm, they know that it's going to be difficult for them to get a bigger footprint and foothold in the console market, in the gaming market. And so what do they have? Their number one bread and butter, what they see going forward is the cloud, Azure cloud servers, basically anything cloud. So they have a product, and when you look at Sony on the other hand, they run gaming. They have the gaming. They also have gaming needs. They have service PS Now, which was, it's been on the market for 5-6 years now. So going forward with the next PlayStation 5 and the new stuff, they have a need for servers. They have a need for cloud. Right now, I believe they rent servers from one of these big companies. I think Rackspace or something like that. Someone told me. So going forward, I mean, I believe Microsoft said, hey, look, we do not want to compete with you guys. We plan on putting our stuff on any and everywhere. Basically, if you think about it, they're becoming a third-party publisher.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah,
and so I think it was the mutual agreement was, hey, we have something where we thrive in, which is our servers. So they say, hey, we'll let you use our servers and stuff like that to run whatever software you want, do whatever at a discounted price. And on the backside, hey, we need access to your imaging technology, your sensors,
semiconductors,
your semiconductors, your artificial intelligence and stuff like that you have. So this is a mutual agreement of 2 companies coming together, not necessarily in gaming all the way, but obviously it's beneficial for Sony because they don't have to build that infrastructure out themselves, which can be very expensive and it takes time. And Microsoft has that head start, so it's just a mutual agreement between those two companies, and I think it's a good deal. But I think a lot of people, obviously, in the gaming community, are kind of moving a little bit. They're putting the cart before the horse, shall I say? And they're thinking that, hey, this is Sony going to put their games on, Xbox Live, or that this is a big deal for Xbox, when it really isn't. It really has nothing to do with Xbox. It's more so of, hey, we need those imaging sensors, we need that artificial intelligence to do what we're going to do. Hey, we can partner together. I'll sell you some of my servers. We'll partner together on some of this gaming cloud infrastructure and technology that's going to go forward. Maybe we can help each other to combat some of these big guys with the big dollars that are going to come in here and may interrupt the industry. You got, Google, you got Walmart even getting into the cloud streaming and gaming. You got, Amazon, you got Apple now doing their thing.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money that's taking a lot. That's a lot of companies with a lot of money that's going to be taking and poaching some console gamers, some PC gamers, some handheld gamers, some iPhone and Android gamers. That's what you have to deal with. And so, that's my take on it. I think it's a mutual agreement. I don't think it's going to manifest anything immediately, but I do think 5 years down the line, I think we're gonna see some big outcomes from this.
All right, Diver, go ahead, man. Go ahead, Diver.
On this, I'm with him on this. Is not a PlayStation Xbox thing. It's a Sony Microsoft thing.
Yeah.
But I do believe that. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
These motherfuckers had the whole time. Nobody talking to them.
All right, what is going on in the background?
I think that was his boss or something.
Okay. Yeah, and I turned it off. Yeah, no, these motherfuckers wasn't on my radio. They don't talk the whole time I was listening, but as soon as I started talking, they want to start talking. But I look at it like this, and I've said this before 100 times. They're going to get together. I always said they are. There's too many things out there that shows that they're going to get together. Okay, and if you read that article, the guy from Sony said they've been working with Microsoft for years. It says years on there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they have been.
Okay, and when my Microsoft stocks started going up, you know what I mean? It's a whole different thing when you're looking at it when you've got a different. Except for gaming, for me, it's not all like everybody wants to fight about games, but I always saw the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Not the smartest way, because I ain't all that smart, but I just saw the bigger picture.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, give yourself.
But I do believe that Sony came to Microsoft though, not the other way around.
Fuck. My turn.
You know what I'm saying? No, it ain't your turn because you just got here. Take the garbage out, motherfucker. You got like 5 people ahead of you.
Hey, I didn't know niggas was sending links or nothing. I just happened to get. I was about to put up my own link.
You stuck in traffic too much.
Yeah, hold on. Leaking. Are you done, Diver?
No, not yet. All right,
go ahead.
I'm gonna be done right now.
All right.
But my question is, so if it's Sony, Microsoft is number 4. Why does Sony go to them? Why couldn't Sony go to Google or somebody else and partner with them? That's my only question.
Okay. All right, that's a good question. Anybody got an answer? Why would Sony not go?
Listen,
Google?
it's cost. It's all about cost, right?
Okay.
You need something from me. I need something from you. You can, obviously the fees that they're going to pay for Microsoft are going to be a lot lower with that partnership than it is if they would have went with Amazon.
I can see that.
Or with anybody else. So it's a mutual benefit. Amazon doesn't need semiconductors and sensors and artificial intelligence and technology like that. So there's nothing that you can really offer them. I do believe that they're using some of Amazon servers, not all, but some.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. So it just makes perfect sense, right? They're both in the gaming market. They both know what they're looking for. It's a mutual agreement. Think about it. Nintendo has already signed up with Microsoft to do the Xbox Live stuff and use the online services and stuff. So you have the gaming companies, Microsoft, Sony, and you have Nintendo, right? And you got the big boys on the outside, the Apples, the Googles, the Amazon coming out into this little bitty realm of gaming, and the big boys want to kind of muscle and push the little guys out the way. when it comes to gaming. So obviously they're going to try to join forces. It's beneficial to them.
Yeah, well, to me, Stadia is devastating. I mean, once these guys got in, the fact that Phil Spencer had to send out a bat signal to everybody to calm down, I thought that was telling, because the way a company thinks is all about how they communicate to their employees. And the fact Phil Spencer had to keep people from wetting their pants because of what these guys just did. And again, they have a true AI in this thing. Yeah. So I want to go down the line here. Lincoln Clay, go ahead, brother.
You guys kind of answered some of this stuff for me, but my thinking was that, Sony has the Gaikai servers. Right?
Oh yeah, they're getting crushed by Google and the Azure cloud.
Right. Yeah, they still work. With the ton of money that they made, over these past few years, I thought they would have strengthened that infrastructure.
Well, they have.
But now that I understand it takes years and billions of dollars to create what Microsoft did with the Azure servers. I guess now I understand why they would have went with somebody. I was curious as to why they went with Microsoft over anybody else, because I think Microsoft is a ruthless company that was bent up on destroying Sony, not beating them.
Well, Lincoln, let me tell you this real quick, Lincoln, because I'm in the tech sector, right? So there are people who do things really, really well, and then there's sometimes I'll do things in house when it makes sense, but for the rest of it, I'll outsource it. Mm-hmm. And while it costs, it's that frame of mind, it's that comfort that I have knowing that it's someone else's job to control all of the heavy equipment. And think about it, for all of these servers that they've built up with the Gaikai, they have to pay for data center location, energy, employees, and all of that stuff, right? And so you got to think about, and even at the end of the day, they still wouldn't have enough revenue to keep up with Amazon, the Microsofts with the Azure cloud, and Apples and all of these big companies. They're just not built for that, in the grand scheme of things. And then the benefit for what PS Now, for some cloud, for some gaming, it may not have been beneficial to them. Maybe they would just find out that they were fighting a uphill battle with that. And think about it, PlayStation is much bigger than it was years ago, because the whole Sony corporation depends on PlayStation. So things are at stake right now that a lot of times us as gamers don't realize. So you can go from having the number 50 cloud server data center type service to the number 4 spot or the number 3 spot with just the flick of a wrist when you're signing the signature. And at the same time, you get to offload maybe some extra chips. You get to sharing some technology going forward that's going to be used in the PS5 or maybe PS6. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. And so it's while Microsoft and Sony compete in the hardware realm when it comes to consoles, at the end of the day, they both use each other for software and for different things. That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that now. And so in closing, that I do want to say that to me, this news dropping today was the equivalent of Michael Jackson and Eddie Murphy becoming friends, because what that relationship was like before they became friends. And so that was a stunner when they became friends. That everybody's talking about how this is a Sony Microsoft agreement and not necessarily a collaboration between PlayStation and Xbox. But I still think you're going to see that on the gaming landscape, because I think this is an agreement that could evolve into a relationship. Therefore, I think you might see less and less videos and other promotions of them taking shots at each other on the gaming front.
Well, I mean, again, even shout out to Porter Rock before I'll come to you next, P3. Porter Rock said something funny, and I don't know if anybody saw it. He said now even Microsoft's Azure cloud is no longer exclusive to Microsoft. I mean, I thought that was actually pretty funny. I mean, I didn't think about it like that, but people got to understand that if they're going to deliver better AI next generation, which they're going to rival what Google's going to do, they have to be that the Azure cloud is actually the better place for them to be at with their PlayStation. with that said, Lincoln, I do agree. I agree. And I know for pretty much they've already talked about putting Game Pass on PlayStation. And it's just a matter of time before it gets there. So, and I'm telling you, I think by 2022, a version of Game Pass will be on PlayStation. Maybe not the total Game Pass, but access to Microsoft's first-party games is going to happen. But they already have a relationship because Microsoft had product placement in the movie A Concussion. That was a Sony Pictures movie, but Microsoft had stuff in it. Like they had Microsoft's tablets and stuff. Microsoft has Blu-ray. Sony is part of the Blu-ray organization. Sony gets a cut of every Microsoft product Blu-ray sold, except for that new Xbox SAG. And we'll go to you, P3, then we'll come to you, Fatal, then we'll go to King Thrash, and then we'll start it back up again. So go ahead, P3. What do you think about this? I thought this was funny to me. I mean, Microsoft bending the knee because, Google is in their face. Google does search, so does Microsoft. Google kicked Microsoft's button search. They kicked them out of the phone market with the Google phones instead of people. You still remember Microsoft had the window phones. They were garbage, but they were there. But then Google came out with their phone, and it was just a better phone. So what do you think about this, P3? You're a GameStop guy. What do you think?
I think it's kind of interesting. I do disagree with Jay though that like it might only, or it's gonna be like a Sony Microsoft thing. I think it's gonna extend like a little further than that. I think we're gonna start seeing I think this was like the gateway for Microsoft to get Game Pass like onto like PlayStation consoles and stuff, so they could get like more revenue and all that. But I think it's a good move. They probably didn't want to spend too much money, like he said, like making their own servers and having to use Gaikai and all that. So it was a pretty cool move. I thought it was pretty big, but I got a question because I don't have much to say about this. You guys think they did this in order to kind of like stop the bigger threat in Google Stadia? Because it seems like they're kind of pushing this whole like streaming thing and like trying to make it like a really mainstream thing.
In my opinion, Microsoft they're afraid of what Google's going to do. There's not a doubt in my mind. They're afraid. Google has beaten them down every step. And what Google has done, what you all have seen in real time, is what I saw what Microsoft did. When Microsoft did the exact same things, they went to IBM, they solved their computer problem. They took DOS and said, we want to market it to everybody. And that's what they're doing with the Azure cloud. They're doing the exact same thing. It's like, this isn't just for us. This is for everybody. I mean, you could put something in the Azure cloud. You have to pay for the storage, but you could. But I'll go down the line here. Fatal, jump in here, man. What do you think about as far as what the question P3 asked? Do you have an opinion? You not care? What do you think?
J-Dub pretty much basically freaking said it perfectly, in my opinion. But I can see more of a collaboration between the two companies, like going forward as far as like gaming is concerned. Game Pass will be on PlayStation, but through the cloud service, not like a separate application kind of thing you have to download or whatever the case would be. Because it just makes too much sense to do it that way, in my humble opinion. But for the most part, don't give a shit.
Okay, King Thrash, the man who came late to the party, but what's happening, brother? Thanks for jumping on. And what do you think about all this? The fuckery today, I guess we want to call it that, because I was laughing at it earlier. Let's listen to some of the podcasts.
Me. I'm looking at this whole thing like, why is everybody looking at this whole thing the wrong way? This deal first came out. You should already know by now that, or not by now, but you can already tell that this deal that was made had gaming on the back end, right? It wasn't a game. Anybody, I don't know. I haven't heard everybody's shit, but gaming is on the back end. When you got Nadella and Yoshiro, whatever that nigga name is, Kinchiro, shaking hands and talking about the deals they're making, it has less to do with gaming and more to do about the businesses as a whole, Microsoft's whole business.
Facts.
You got to remember, Microsoft just restructured their business like 2 years ago. Based on streaming. They're number one in the cloud-based services, and that doesn't have much to do with gaming. Gaming is a small part of a bigger, fish as far as monetization, the Azure and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like at the same thing with Sony. Sony has way more to offer than PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation is their number one, yes, but Sony can offer things that Microsoft can't. Sony's a hardware company. Microsoft is a software company. These two companies came together to make equal money. When you see two bosses come together, that's equal money talk. That's not, okay, I'm better than you. Okay, no, I'm better than you. No, these are two bosses coming together. So when that happens, it's more like, what can we do for each other? Just like they did throughout this whole relation. Sony been using Azure. You know what I'm saying? Me and Sick was talking about this shit months ago. They've been using Azure Cloud. You know what I'm saying? For their business side of things. You know what I'm saying? And Microsoft been using Blu-rays in their fucking Xbox Ones. Been using different techniques and ways from Sony. So I fell off. But at the end of the day, what I say is this. Microsoft and Sony, they're coming up with solutions for the AI cloud, right? For the cloud and AI, right? Outside of the cloud. You know what I'm saying? Like this AI solutions and cloud-based solutions. But solutions to what? You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's less worry about Google Stadia, because this deal was being talked about way before Google Stadia was announced. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, they know that these companies know when something is popping, but at the end of the day, like they don't know exactly what until it's announced. So it's like they were already talking about they've always been partners. They've always done this, but it's a bigger thing because they're innovating something new. You know what I'm saying? And that something new is going to help gaming the way they want it, the way they want gaming to be helped. It's also going to help AI and whatever the fuck they're going to do with that and anything else with the whole business. They might just be having a whole business structure collaboration, like Sony's whole shit with their business. All the information, including gaming, would be ran on the Azure servers. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, Microsoft can get their hands on a Halo movie made by Sony or a DVD player, or even make Xbox's future streaming boxes. You know what I'm saying? Like they both have something equally that they can use to help each other out with. That they both weak. Sony's weak at software. Microsoft is weak at hardware when it comes to the mainstream. I'm not talking about games or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're going to use each other's powers to help each other. You know what I'm saying? One titty lift up the other.
Well, that's all it really is. It's a brawl to add some physics. Now, what I've got right here on the screen, this is Microsoft's corporate mission statement, and there's nothing here about gaming at all. Nothing at all. Yeah, I just want people to really understand that there's nothing here about gaming. So that's not their priority. I just really want people to understand. So
they're gonna be the ultimate middleman, bro. That's what I see. I see them wanting to be the ultimate middleman. Everybody got to come to them to do whatever they want to do. Yeah,
they're a concierge at this point. They're third party.
So in other words, Microsoft's gonna make a lot of money by not doing shit.
No, they are.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I was thinking about earlier.
Well, they're going to be maintaining the cloud that Sony is in, and that's
right. But so. But it's just like Xbox Live, right? Xbox Live, they don't got to do shit but collect money. You know what I'm saying? We're running on EA servers when we're playing Battlefield. That's what they want. They like Minecraft. They ain't got to do shit. They make Minecraft. You know what I'm saying? Like they just monetized it, put it online, and then watch the money roll in. Yeah, that's what they want. They want money to roll in. Yeah.
So this for people to understand. So I'll see if I can find Sony's mission statement here. Oh, hey J-Dub, did you get your 8K TV?
I did. I hadn't did my unboxing yet, man. It's 85 inches, and so I need to schedule the installers to come and remove the old one and put the new one up.
Damn.
I'll do an unboxing when that happens. I'm still working on the studio, trying to get stuff going.
I saw that, man. That looked like you're gonna be DJing somewhere or breaking out some mixtapes.
got some big stuff going on, man. So y'all just stay tuned.
Looking.
For sure.
Yeah, I was a little jealous. I think he got a sample. Was that a sampler or a beats maker? Or look like damn, man. I ain't seen that J-Dub. coming up strong.
Look at him. Yeah. I'm proud of him. And shit, he came a long way from trolling to still trolling. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So what has been the overall reaction to this? It's I've seen some stupid stuff from down. Microsoft is going to be able to play Sony's games through the cloud, and I've seen, which we already know is not true. I've seen some stupid stuff. Crazy. So what's the stupidest thing everybody has seen today? We'll go ladies first this time because I like to hear Viera Tron's voice. So Viera, what's some of the stupid things you've seen for this on Twitter if you've been on at all today?
I've been on and off. I've seen some stuff. I guess some people are making it sound like Microsoft requiring Sony or stuff like that. It just got to the point like, okay, you guys, grow up, man. It's kind of silly. I just find it really silly. I don't really see it as I don't see none of it as a threat or anything. I just think everyone's just having fun with it. But at the end, someone could take it really seriously and get hurt. Feelings. Someone's feelings are going to get hurt. So
Microsoft, right?
Let me chime in on what I.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
When I first turned on YouTube, I woke up and seen Microsoft, Sony unite, and the first thing that hit my head was that the Xbox are going to try to claim a victory off of this because. Anytime Microsoft does something and then Sony does it, they claim a victory. So now you got a situation where they shook hands. It doesn't matter who needs who blinked first, who caved in, whatever you want to call it. The Xbox are going to try to claim this as a victory because Sony is using something that Microsoft has.
But they've been using it off and on for years.
Yeah, it's not that Sony's using something. It's that Microsoft needs Sony's
but this opened my eyes that Sony, like Microsoft, is making a lot of behind the scenes money because people talk about virtual reality, how Microsoft is not in virtual reality. They making a fuckload of money off of the mixed reality headsets.
Yeah,
because they designed it and sent it out to the third party manufacturers. So you got people like Samsung with the Samsung Odyssey that I believe was that headset was built off of Microsoft's design. I believe the HP Reverb that's coming out is the same thing. So Microsoft is getting virtual reality money too.
Well, they all said that they were going to help the industry grow. They're competing, but they're helping the industry grow because what is that stupid saying? Rising tide raises all boats. I don't know what the hell that saying is. But that's in order for VR to grow, everybody has to pitch in. Yes, they're competing, but everybody has to pitch in and share technologies to bring it out to everybody. That's all that. Well, but I understand what you're saying. But yeah, I guess I don't understand. I get it. I mean, I understood. But look, the Xbox community is moist. I mean, there's just a bunch of moist ass men running around that community. So, I mean, seriously, nope. They don't need Gold Bond. They don't need Jergens. They are just moist. They wake up and they start to sweat. So, so let me ask P3 if you're still here. I can't see the screen. I'm reading about the Halo TV series because I'm a Halo fan.
No, I think he left.
Oh well, damn it! All right, Fatal, jump in here then. Do you think this is this that big a deal, or is just? I personally think this is Microsoft and Sony reacting to what Google's about to do because Google's device works. I mean, I don't know. I mean, people have said, oh, they're going to throttle you on the internet. Nah, you ain't got nothing to worry about. This shit works. 1080p, 60 frames a second, high graphic settings. It works. Everybody's scared. Like scared. SCARRDED. Scared of what.
Yeah, but the biggest question is though, Craig, who the fuck should be scared for a streaming service? Especially when it comes to gaming. Isn't that like I thought nobody wants streaming as far as
well, they're afraid it's going to work. They're afraid it's going to work. That's the problem.
PS Now works fine. PS Now works hell even on my shitty connection. It works.
No, it does. Like PS Now has been working fine for a very long time, bro.
Yeah, it's working pretty well. It's gotten a lot better since I first started using it like a long time ago.
True.
So the Google thing, I don't think that's the reason why that this partnership is being formed. I mean, maybe, but I kind of don't see it because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's just Google coming.
That means they started
streaming shit.
When did Stadia get announced? Like, well, no, we known about Stadia since they had that little free shit they had, right?
Yeah,
and like a year ago or something. So
they didn't go to the. This has to be said. They didn't go to NVIDIA. They went to AMD, and they went there for a reason because everybody knows what's about to happen to NVIDIA this year. Everybody knows, except
I don't know. I'm a PC dude. Yeah, but I know that you know.
Something terrible is about to happen. So, but yeah, go ahead, Keith. Right? I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy.
Oh no, I was just answering Diver's.
Oh, Diver. Is Diver still here, or did he get called back to work?
No. That nigga he's here. He's here in spirit.
All right.
He's here in spirit.
All right. So, So, Lincoln, let me ask you then. With them striking this deal with, notice this is their CEOs talking to each other. They talked to Phil Spencer's boss. So, how much longer till? And I say 2.5 years. Till we see Halo and Gears on the PlayStation. What do you think?
I think it very well could happen in a couple of years. And as far as that goes, you know how I feel about VR or something like that. You know, with Sony's licensing, Sony's doing the same thing that Microsoft did. The designs of the PSVR 2, they licensed it to Lenovo. Hence, you have the Oculus Rift S that has some similarities to the PlayStation VR headset. With that being said, I wouldn't be surprised that, Microsoft could very well use Sony's hardware technology and dive back into VR, where through a third-party manufacturer. So I think this partnership may start out small, but it could blow up into something big.
Is it a partnership or is it just an agreement to work together? Like, I mean, I guess it is a partnership. I guess it is a partnership.
Yeah, it
is a partnership. But like, I think what they're doing is just more about making each other's companies better, not necessarily a piece of a company. Like, they ain't gonna use a piece of Azure. Like, that Azure is gonna be for their whole company, and Sony's gonna do something that'll help Microsoft's whole company. Probably help them spread the news of Azure. They probably announced it because signing Sony to Azure is like the Lakers signing LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? It's going to grab everybody else's attention to the Azure cloud, and make other people be like, yeah, maybe I should use it too.
But didn't the Lakers miss
with that being said,
miss the playoffs?
They did. They did.
Who's to say that maybe in 5 years on an E3 stage, you could see Phil Spencer and whoever is in charge of Sony walk out on that stage at the same time.
That's going to happen this year.
I already said, no, that's happening this year. I said this already.
I mean, where they do an entire E3 where, they'll call it an exclusive, but it'll be from Microsoft and Sony Santa Monica / they work together on a project or something.
No, it won't be that.
It won't be anything like that.
Listen,
it's still going to be the separation is still going to be there. Yeah. They've always worked together and they've always done separate things.
Yeah, so like the separation is not going to give them access to their bread. And you got to realize, gaming is Sony's bread and butter right now, right? That pays the bills. This is why they've invested so much money in the PlayStation, and this is also why they've been so successful. Whereas Microsoft is dabbling in it, but they're not full-heartedly in it. Obviously, you can tell by them giving away everything they have to any and everybody. But so I don't think the fear is there that they're gonna let Microsoft come and try to take over some parts of their gaming sector, because at the same time, Microsoft hasn't even thrived in their own gaming sector. So what could Microsoft actually bring to the table that would help Sony besides their servers? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's not games. They don't really have the games.
I don't even think it's a service. I think it's just monetization. I think they want to be able to see how many sandwiches people ate in God of War 2. You know what I'm saying? I think it's all about that. There's money in that. There's a lot of money in knowing that information. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with y'all. I agree with y'all, but where I was going was, I'm just saying that who's to say that 5-10 years from now, who's to say that they won't try to merge to become the biggest gaming entity?
Who? Microsoft?
And Sony.
No.
I mean, Sony is already the biggest gaming entity, so I mean,
right. But you know,
they dominate in every single category.
But Microsoft has still been breaking their back to try to crack into that 100 million.
Well, listen, Microsoft. Phil Spencer said he had his eyes on 2 billion. That means he wanted on any and everything, and they also count stuff that we wouldn't consider gaming, right? They consider any and everything. So Microsoft has a whole different strategy for their. They tried a couple of generations. They couldn't quite get it right. This was the defining generation. They said, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna go a whole different area. So the only thing that kept the gaming sector from going down for Microsoft is they said, and I still give Phil credit for this. Don't shut it down. What we're gonna do is we're gonna find a way to spin the gaming and merge it with our cloud and other services that Microsoft leverages, and that's high value for them and investors. And Phil Spencer was able to do that. He was able to take all your exclusive games and give them elsewhere and put them on any and every other platform to gain a larger install base. He's also leveraging any and everything else. I mean, just look at it. There is nothing literally sacred to Xbox. So Xbox is no longer a console that you knew. It's a service. And what you do with services, it's on any and everything, just like Netflix.
Yeah, well, I don't disagree. Netflix is going to take a hit this fall when Disney starts their streaming service. Disney streaming service is going to dig hard into Netflix. Trust me. I mean, Netflix is printing money. Hulu. Disney owns that too.
Yeah, that's gonna be their streaming service. That's gonna be the streaming service right there.
True. So
I got a question.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
It seems like everybody has a fear that they're gonna. It seems like there's a fear that Microsoft is going to do what? It sounds like there's people who think that Sony is going. And shout out to the Titanfall Princess. She tweeted out something like, and I'm paraphrasing. People were mocking Sony's games, and now they're acting like they're going to be able to play them through the Azure cloud. It's like that, guys. You want to say that's not what's going on, but
I don't think it's really fear. I just think since Sony is moving towards the US, it's going to be in California, the headquarters, PlayStation headquarters.
Yeah,
it's just kind of funny how it's like all that is all. That's all already been calculated right there. I mean, this is going to be like that. Yeah, I feel like that could be a thing. It's coming to U.S. soil, so it's going to be like, oh wow, we could do business with them.
Well, you got to think about it. Sony has always been in the U.S. They've always had a U.S. Division. That's why look at when it used to be Sony
Santa Monica.
No, computers or whatever. When they had the Vios, they were selling the laptops and stuff. Now, you just got to realize they do the bulk of their business in the United States.
Yeah.
So it would just, it just makes sense. The bulk of their staff is in the United States, and now that they're going to be partnering with Microsoft and other companies and stuff like that, it just makes sense. You can't really run a lot of stuff from Japan. Now that's always going to be the mothership. True. That's always going to be the mothership because it's going to forever stay a Japanese company, but they leverage. Look at Apple. Yes, Apple is here, but Apple
it's huge in Japan.
Different places all over the world. That's just kind of what that is. Google is any and everywhere, even though it's it has a lot of tax incentives that the government is handing out too, so it makes sense. It's just a lot of reasons why these guys doing anything. But if we're just focusing on gaming, right? If our fear is just about gaming, I don't think we have anything to fear because they've doubled down on exclusive hardware and software. They say that they do want to continue the traditional way of gaming, so that means the hardware is not going anywhere. I think we're going to get a super hyped up PS Now, which is a good thing, right? For those who want to dabble in that. Now they're going to get a PS Now 2, and it's going to work a lot better than it has before. As long as they keep pumping out those exclusive, those single player games that we care about, because remember, Phil Spencer said, single player games just don't do it like they used to, and Sony and Nintendo was able to prove him wrong. So now I think they're going to end up walking back. So Microsoft is going to have to walk back a lot of stuff that they've said in the beginning of the generation, but they weren't in a special position, right? They had just launched a console. It was failing epically. They had to do something. So they just started trying everything to see what sticks. So they made some promises that they've had to break, and they had to change. And so Microsoft is ever evolving. They're trying to find their arena in the gaming where they can make money and be profitable, but also look at it from a long-term investment as well. If not, they would have been got out of gaming. They would have said, look, we're never going to be able to beat Sony. I mean, right now, last generation they had almost a 90 million install base. This generation they barely hit 40, so that's a huge drop off. So do you expect them to keep giving exclusives, keep giving all these high end consoles if their install base is going to get lower and lower? No, they had to do what they had to do, and this is why they putting everything on everything, and they're selling their clouds and they're selling whatever else they can to leverage to make it feasible to continue the Xbox brand as whatever it is.
Third party status.
Facts.
That's all it is. Third party status.
Yeah, I think I have seen, that's why I'm not really, concerned much for other stuff. I just don't, like you said, they're not going to focus on services, and I hope that could be it, because I just don't want
No, they are. Sony is. I mean, we should have, I seen the
problem. Oh, my bad. I meant online all the
time.
Oh,
like 100%? Oh, no, I don't think they're going to do all that.
Yeah, that's
but I mean, the fact that they got EA access coming. Are you going to be able to download games from EA
access? I'm not really sure much about
not PS3 ones.
Yeah.
They said what? You're gonna be able to download those games?
No. Like the Mass Effect series, you can't play that on EA Access, because I would get it. If I could play Mass Effect on my PlayStation 4, 1, 2, and 3 with all my DLC, I get it. I would get EA Access, but I can't, and therefore I won't be getting EA Access. Plus, I have Origin. What is it? Origin Access. So I guess
Origin, you're fine.
Right? Yeah.
Wait, what? Does anybody know why?
I guess the architecture. It can't. Something's going on with the architecture. I just know the shit don't work. That's all I need to know. It's kind of like,
it doesn't work. That's just what it is.
Yeah, it's just not going to work. And the problem they have is, I don't think they have a problem. Is that we're at the end of the life of the PS4. So this is one of the final things they're adding just to give it legs, so people, because everybody's not going to jump to the PS5.
Here's my question: why did they just wait till PS5 and just announce the EA?
Because I can answer that. I know the exact reason.
Yeah, go ahead.
The answer to that is that the PlayStation has run its course, right? Mm-hmm. And people are still going to buy PlayStation. It's just not going to be something they push that where they ain't going to make their same numbers. They're not going to cycle their numbers. So what they're at the stage of doing is right now is seeing what gamers will accept for next generation. How are we going to react to EA Access? You already got 90 million people who own it. Okay, so how many people are interested in EA Access? Should we bring this next generation or not? You know what I'm saying? So they putting all this shit in there late, like basically to test the next generation. If people buy into EA and Sony makes a good amount of money on that, then they'll probably consider bringing it over to the next to
90 million people own what?
Damn, nigga, man, what?
90 million.
Own a PS4,
90 million people.
Yeah, own a PS4.
Just hear the point, nigga. Just hear the point. Don't.
90 million people.
I'm not clowning nobody. I'm just throwing facts real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you. I'm not answering the question. That's why they're doing all these type of different moves, all these handshaking, all the cross play, all that shit. All this shit is amazing. It's just a test to see how they're gonna do next generation. Just you know what I'm saying? They can get away with anything. They can get away with anything. They can. I wouldn't be surprised if PSN, Xbox Live don't go up in price before the next generation. I wouldn't be surprised because they already got us.
I do believe they're going.
They already got us, and then they're gonna carry it over to the next generation. The best time to raise the prices at the end of the generation, and then let that shit carry over to the next generation. Like you already paying us, nigga. Fuck it. You gonna stop playing your games? That's what you gonna do. You gonna stop playing? You didn't stop playing your game when it first announced. Having PSN, you having to play that shit and pay for fucking online. Hell no. You gonna continue to play your shit. You know what I'm saying? Now they're just testing to see. I wouldn't be surprised.
Third-party AAA games.
Like I said before, Sony will be at Microsoft's E3, and there will be some announcements made. just like I said before. Called this shit before any of this news.
Wait.
So
Thresh, you're going to be on stage? You're saying they're going to be on stage?
Sony will be on stage. Microsoft E3. I did not change my statement from what I said before. Okay. I'm gonna ask you this though. Why wouldn't they, nigga?
Why? What reason do they have to be up there?
The Xbox app on the PlayStation.
Exactly what I just asked. Yeah. What reason does Sony have to be on Xbox's stage?
Because
the Xbox I'm telling you that Xbox
thank you. Yes.
App will be on the PlayStation. You can play your Xbox games on the PlayStation.
On your PlayStation. Yes.
And I think it's going to be vice versa.
No, it's not.
It's not going to be vice versa. Sony's bread and butter. Sony's bread. I'll bet you right now. Sony's bread and butter is games, bro.
We already bet that. I already said that. It's going to.
I know. I bet you. We made all these bets. I want all my money. Look, Sony.
First of all, you owe me money right now. You owe me money right now.
Yeah, wait a minute. Shout out to the chat. Corey Massey says Sony is not using Azure for their network, and that's true. All they're doing, all they're going to do is
that's for PS Now. That's for PS Now. That's all that is.
Yeah, all they're doing again is, it's amazing what people are reading into it. All Sony is doing, based on this announcement, is helping Microsoft's AI get better by going into their Azure cloud with technology that they have.
No, but I thought Sony.
Go ahead.
Hold on, because what I read is that Sony is the one that's doing the AI side of things. Microsoft is doing the cloud side.
Yeah, Microsoft.
So it's Sony going to help them with their AI. Helping them with their AI.
Yeah, and then Sony will eventually get to their own service point, and then they'll use their own AI. But the AI is the big thing because Google Stadia's AI, the AI that Google has, no Stadia out. Google's AI is better than anything Microsoft has. I mean, Google has AI in people's homes. Ask Google whatever the hell that stupid thing is. So I mean, Amazon.
But you know what Microsoft has? You know what Microsoft has that Google doesn't? Its own damn games that people know and love.
Right, that's true.
Right.
That's
even
true.
though,
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I don't disagree.
So
with you.
I mean, I think Stadia is basically based on just getting more people to watch YouTube and spend money on YouTube. That's it. It's for content creators to use it, and it's all YouTube shit.
Yeah, because you don't need Hangouts, and they haven't really upgraded Hangouts for about a year. And
exactly.
And that's because you don't need Hangouts to stream. So, I mean, you just don't. Mm-hmm. They got a little camera, like at least on my YouTube, there's a little camera up there that just says create video or post. So that's
the fucking controller is Wi-Fi. I mean, fuck, that's enough said right there. Your controller is Wi-Fi, bro? Oh no. So that means if my girl's watching Mean Girls or fucking in the living room, it's gonna fuck up my controller inputs? No, like what the I don't know, dog. I don't know.
So
hey, Greg.
Yeah.
According to your boy Next Gen 720, Sony bend the knee and Microsoft is the new king of the North.
Nobody bend the knee, bro. To me, nobody.
Wait.
Well, I mean, again,
to be fair, that was just tongue in cheek talk.
He's being tongue in cheek. Mm-hmm. I mean, shout out to Zaire. I support all brothers in the space, but it's just tongue in cheek. Look, Google Stadia. Remember, Google Stadia gets announced, and it is Phil Spencer who has to put out a email for everybody not to wet their pants because of what Google's about to do. So, and Sony, again, and I don't blame Sony for trying to do a dubstep, a rope-a-dope to get out of Google's way because the freight train is...
Wait! Yeah. No! You think Sony is scared of Stadia?
No,
like they own
52%. Okay, yeah, they do, and they want
The Last of Us.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and they want to keep it that way. But my point is that the low hanging fruit isn't Sony. The low hanging fruit is Microsoft. Google is in Microsoft's backyard. They have search. So does Microsoft. They have the same type of technologies out around the world.
Google has no games, man.
Well, that is true. I'm not here to vote. It is Microsoft. I mean, hellfire. I don't need a box to play. I don't have an Xbox.
Well, they will have games soon, but
and they'll be on PC again. I don't need their box, so that's what.
Fuck PC.
Well, I understand that, but Stadia doesn't have a box. Stadia's not a box either. But the low hanging fruit gets hit first, and it's Microsoft.
Stop hating on PC, man.
So yeah, I downloaded 4.
I have a horrible grudge against that shit.
Go ahead,
let me ask you guys this, right? With all this cloud shit, Sony and Nintendo are the only one that have exclusives, right? They're the only ones giving you an exclusive, a reason to buy their hardware. They still want to be in the hardware business for you to buy the hardware as well as the software, as well as the service. If Google comes in, Apple's announced they're coming in. Even Walmart is coming into game streaming. You got Amazon, Netflix. You have all of these. There's going to be 50 different competitors for online streaming of games.
Trying to stream the same game.
Why are for the same fucking Assassin's Creed?
I mean, because it's going to be on.
How is that all of that competition, right? What's going to make me sign up for Walmart streaming platform than over Sony's? Because think about it. If I'm a PlayStation guy, I'm already in the PlayStation ecosystem. I already trust them with my dollars. I trust that they're going to keep giving me the bangers, the exclusives, the single player games that I want, the VR and everything else, right? Or if I'm an Xbox guy, I'm going to stick with Microsoft's xCloud because it has an ecosystem. I can play all my old backwards compatibility games and all of them for my friends there. The main reasons that people still to this day buy an Xbox, that's their reason. That's where their friends are. Nintendo, let's skip Nintendo. They're not even online, so we're not focusing on them. But,
if you really think about it, Nintendo.
So what reason is there to have all of these people trying to do the exact same thing for the same multiplats? It's not like the multiplats are going to run better on one streaming service than the other. Eventually they're going to end up all at the same point, right? They all are beholden to your local ISP, whoever you sign. We all sign up with Comcast, Time Warner, and all these other cable providers, AT&T, Verizon, whatever, and they're all shitty. It doesn't matter where you are; they're all shitty. A lot of them have data caps. They're expensive. They throttle you. We have all these same hiccups. Why have 50 different services for all of these games to have the same games?
Yeah,
it almost seems like people like Walmart and shit like that. I don't really understand why Walmart's getting into the streaming scene. That just seems a little odd to me. It just seems like Walmart's trying to cash in on the cash grab.
They can't play their employees. How you gonna get streaming? You can't play your employees.
That's what I'm saying.
doesn't Walmart own that streaming stick? I forgot what it's called. That
Voodoo.
Fucking you can only buy that Walmart.
Voodoo.
I think it's exactly like you said. You said you're a PlayStation dude. You're loyal to PlayStation. Google's gonna come out and everybody's on Google. Everybody's on YouTube.
What they gotta do with PlayStation?
That's a big difference. I game on everything. I game on every single platform. Everything.
It has nothing to do with PlayStation. How about you not in the
True that, Kratos. True that, buddy.
Yeah, but I'm saying what's gonna make me sign up to this particular service over the next one? What are you gonna offer me over where I'm already at? If I subscribe to PlayStation Now and I have all these exclusives and all of these games that are near and dear to my heart, what reason is there for me to sign up with Google Stadia just because they're Google? The masses are not tech people. Yeah, the only tech people are the diehards, the people in here that care about graphics cards and resolution and all of this other shit. The bulk of the people, the 2 billion people that Phil Spencer was talking about, those are people with cell phones that play Candy Crush. Those people don't care. They don't know.
Yeah.
So why are you having all of these streaming services just to play the same Assassin's Creed? I don't get why these companies are putting so much effort into this cloud stuff when they have no particular reason to actually have you on their platform.
They're in the entertainment business and they see gaming as the biggest thing in entertainment right now. So they want a piece of that cookie, just like Microsoft. Microsoft wanted a piece of that pie, and that's why they walked their asses up in here unprepared and not ready.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like it just.
But
that's why it's so easy for them to give up.
But they saw
like Nintendo failed how many times?
That's true.
How many times Nintendo failed?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They came right back every time harder, trying to come with new ideas to innovate in gaming. Microsoft come up in this motherfucker. In the beginning, they messed up, but it was because they came late. Their controller was shit. They had a great time with the 360. And then as soon as the motherfucking Xbox One failed, they don't even want to do gaming no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they don't even got. It's like it's all about cash grabbing. These American companies, man. These Western companies. It's all about that cash grabbing, bro.
But aren't they at the end going to be doing better since everybody's going to be paying them?
You said what now? You talking about what?
Who? Microsoft?
Microsoft is doing better than everybody right now before this shit even starts, bro.
Yeah. They've been doing better. I mean,
their goals are way bigger than everybody else's, dog.
Exactly.
Like Microsoft,
since their inception, they was always the top leader in the money. Look at Bill Gates. Ever since he started, he's been the world's richest person.
Yeah, he retired when he's 28 years old.
Exactly. Of course, his company is going to continue to thrive because every day when you go to work and you jump on a computer, it's running what? Windows. That's just what that is. That's just what that is, right? So Microsoft is forever going to be in the industry. But we're talking about gaming here. Gaming is a whole different sector, right? They don't run gaming. They Sony runs gaming. Nintendo runs gaming. Nintendo is literally the only company that has been there for like 35 years. They've seen companies come and they've seen
and go.
They knew how to maneuver when it was time to maneuver, and they knew how to hold the line when it was time to hold the line. Even when Sony came in, busting the door on them, and they've been leading ever since. They whooped Nintendo's ass so bad. Nintendo went into the heart of the damn hybrid console handheld business. Nintendo does not want to fight for the upper echelons of gaming. So this is why I don't include them in a lot of the discussions, because they found their own lane and they're dominating, and they need to continue to do that. But if they can step back in the 4K, 8K era, they will get their ass whooped again. And so that's just what that is. But right now, you got Microsoft and you got Sony. In this generation, Microsoft saw that we cannot compete. These guys have the developers, they have the games, they have the mind share. They have it. They are a gaming company, and this is why Sony continue to invest heavily in Sony is PlayStation. That's what that is. They need to rebrand the whole company to name PlayStation, because the gaming division is what's keeping them afloat. And as long as they keep doing that, that's all that matters. They're imaging sensors, right? Their sensors, their all of that stuff is built into the PlayStation VR camera, the camera. So they use that. All of their sensors and stuff, they use it in the VR stuff. They use it, in the PlayStation. They've always did that. They use it in the Vita, the PSP. That's just what Sony does. Sony does hardware. Microsoft has always been a software company. They started software. They dibble and dabble into hardware, but for the most part, the hardware has always been outsourced. This is why you have the Lenovo's and the Dells of the world. So I think the companies have two totally different goals. Microsoft is a lot of their bread and butter is these servers, right? They bet the whole cow on these servers. Company's going to keep growing. They're going to keep selling their cloud servers and stuff like that, and that's how they're going to continue to make money. They leveraged games, right? They got into the games to try to put a box in every household, and they succeeded for last generation with having close to 90 million boxes in everybody's home. But gamers said, we don't give a fuck about that TV shit. And so they had to humble up and say, look, if we're going to be in a gaming realm, we have to provide games. And we just don't have what it takes at this point to compete against the juggernaut that is Sony when it comes to games. Therefore, we're just going to go middle of the road. We're going to put our games that we do create with our studios on any and every platform that'll allow us to keep making money. We're going to keep selling our services, and we're going to find other ways to make revenues and money and go to some other market. Sony is all about, hey, these guys, we got 100 million people who spend $400 or $500 on these consoles and $300 and $400 on this VR stuff. We got to keep doing this. We ain't got no choice. And this is why they're doubling down on what they're doing. So I do think this move that they made is a good move. They know that their weak spot was always servers, and it takes a lot of money. And now they can outsource that. Now they can just dump all the stuff on Azure cloud and move forward and focus on other things. I know because I do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand what they're doing. I'm just, I'm looking at some of the moisture on Twitter. I mean, I'm seeing all kind of stupid ass stuff. So, I mean, I can't wait for the dust to settle for people to really see what this really is. So, I mean, I never thought that something that somebody already used was going to be that big a deal. And the big fish in this room at this point is Google. They have shaken the tree. I mean, you can clearly see it. So, and because their device is going to work. You know, these people like it's going to have latency, and it's like, nope, it's going to be fine. It will be fine. So, yeah. Anybody else got anything to say? It's 11 o'clock Eastern time, so I am going to. Vieira. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, young lady.
I think everyone had good points. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
I don't find like I just don't find like I guess personally I just looking at the game part about it. I'm not looking at like the much of it, like the services. I think this, whatever works, it works. If it doesn't, I don't know. I just hope everything works well. I mean, I hope that it doesn't fall off.
Listen, this is what's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either this cloud streaming shit is going to work, or it's going to burn in infamy, and it's going to be part of the Sega 32X era. It's going to be part of the Nintendo Virtual Boy era. It's just going to be it's going to be added to that long list of failures. And there's a lot of companies that are I mean, they're banking the whole company that this whole cloud streaming games is going to work, and then they're going to be able to sell it. But the big problem out there is Netflix. You pay what, $8, $9, maybe $10 a month?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big difference.
14,
$30, $40, $50 guaranteed a month. That's your cable bill. That's your internet bill. You're gonna have to add that part of your gaming experience if that's the route you're gonna go. And then on top of that, when your internet goes down, you can't game.
Well, that's true. That is true. That's
guess what? When everybody, if you got Comcast or a cable service, and in the middle of the daytime when nobody's at home, your gaming experience is probably going to work flawless. But at 6 o'clock, when everyone get home from work, they get in, they turn their TVs on and start streaming their Netflix and stuff, your service is going to suck. So they can't guarantee that quality of service to everybody's home. So therefore, the service is going to be limited. And again, streaming will never be as fast as native, and that's just the truth. We spend all these money on these high-end monitors, 144 hertz, 244 hertz TVs, and all of that stuff to lower the latency, right? Mm-hmm. Just to step back into the Stone Age and to have like a 1 or 2 second delays. Nobody's trying to fall for that.
True.
So either myself and you guys on the panel, either the streaming stuff is not marketed towards us, and maybe they have some other market or some other person that they're looking for to sell this to. But for the most part of us, we've always had a physical console. When we grew up in gaming,
always
first starting, and I don't want to be the old guy in the room that say I'm scared of what streaming brings to the table. It's just I've seen shit come and I've seen it go. I've seen it win. I've seen it fail. And until they can guarantee me that the latency on my stream is equivalent to the native on my console, I will forever be console. And I don't see streaming making a dent in gaming.
Shit, I'm waiting till the motherfuckers tell me that my stream will never go off. Nigga, like my shit will never. I can always 100% play my games every time. I don't want to have to deal with, there was a nuclear explosion at the fucking Microsoft plant or whatever plant, nigga, Sony, whatever, and I can't play my games. No, fuck that. I took my money. Man. You gonna give me my money back?
Yeah.
Am I gonna get my money?
So you saying if their plant blows up, you ain't gonna take that into consideration?
Hey, no, hell no, nigga. I mean, right now, if a plant blow up, my nigga, on the PlayStation, I can still play Days Gone with no motherfucking problems. I want that same motherfucking thing with my games, bro.
I believe that, like right now, I think I lose my cable, not my cable, my internet
once a week.
I was about to say once a week because of maintenance, because of scheduled maintenance.
Yeah.
And you know, and it normally happens when I'm asleep. But what about the people who work second shift that stay up till 3, 4, 5 in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're gonna have at least one night where they're not gonna be able to game because the internet is down.
Yeah.
Well, all I can say is they better bomb a Nintendo Switch.
But you know, but some things like I think like using motorcycles as an example. You know, motorcycles have been around for God knows how long, and the most effective method on motorcycles is the oldest, and that's a chain. You know, they try to use these rubber belts and drive shafts and all that kind of stuff. None of that stuff beats a chain. The chain is still the most effective way for a motorcycle to move. It is the fastest and most effective way. So, you know, I'm hoping that kind of analogy holds true with gaming, that, you know, gaming natively on a console is always going to beat streaming in this. That I guess that's my hope.
If we look back, you know, 5 years from now, and I'm playing on, let's say, Google Stadia or PlayStation Now 2 or 3 or xCloud or whatever, and I say, Lincoln Clay, hey man, pull your phone out. Let's play some Mortal Kombat 15 or some shit. If I can envision myself looking back saying, man, I remember back then I was scared of streaming, or I just didn't get why streaming was a big deal when it's native. But I can't see that, you know, I just can't see that. And you know, technology just has not progressed to that point where native is a thing of the past. It's okay with movies because you download in little bits, and then after you finish downloading, after it's buffered, that's it. You no longer need the internet. You continue watching your movie.
And also, I don't know. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think PC gamers will go for this either. Not with all the money they spend building these computers.
Well, and that's a whole nother ball game there too, because you got to think about it. What reason do people build computers, right? They buy computers mostly for gaming, for us gamers. You build a PC because you want the highest resolution and the fastest frames. Well, next generation, most likely, we're going to get the highest resolution and the fastest frames. So once the Xbox 2 and the PlayStation 5 come out running 4K 60, what else is there a need for me to go out and spend $1,200 on a video card and another $2,000, you know, with all this memory and hard drive and SSDs and all this stuff? There is really no need anymore. I can always say, well, let me just build a PC because I want to do Microsoft Excel and Word and shit on there. But come on, nobody's building a computer to do that stuff. So I think there's going to be lower and lower threshold for why you need to buy a PC next generation. I think that gap is going to close, you know. Yes, because
I agree. Yeah.
Can I spend $500-$600 to get a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox 2, and therefore my needs are met? Or should I go ahead and go the other route like we've been doing and spending $2,000 and $3,000 for a computer? And then that's not without even a monitor, right? You still have to buy a monitor, so that's still more money. So I think that's why a lot of PC guys are on the fence about what can they actually provide in these boxes for $500, because if they can usher in, you know, let's say checkerboard 8K or some 4K 60 with the type of exclusives that Sony got, and you know, and Crackdown 4 maybe, or whatever they got on Microsoft side.
Yeah,
it's gonna be as a PC gamer too, I'm gonna have to think about that. It's gonna be hard for me to start ponying up that money again. This generation, I mean, I got bought two 2080 Ti's, and me thinking back now, I'm dumb as hell for doing that, because with the specs they're announcing on these rumors for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox 2, my needs would have been met, and that's 4K 60 uncompromised. And I think that's all of our goals, right? We always complain, man, 60 frames, 60 frames, 60 frames. I got a 4K TV, 4K TV, 4K TV. Well, now that your needs are met, what else do you want? What else is there? You got VR, they got you covered. You got your exclusives, they got you covered. You're going to have your 4K 60, they got you covered. I mean, Xbox 2 is going to be powerful, and it's going to have the 4K 60. really uncompromised next generation. So I don't know. As a PC gamer, Thrash, I mean, what are you gonna do? Do you see yourself buying another PC? You know, next 2-3 years?
Shit.
Well, I mean, yeah. When I was, go ahead.
I don't see myself buying a PC. Oh no, my bad. No. I was just saying I don't see myself buying a PC. Period. Yeah. I don't even know what that is. You know what I'm saying? A slave box, mod makers, keyboard kingdom. Nigga, I don't know keyboard kingdom. The hell, nigga, X button. Act like I'm playing the Xbox by pressing X. Like I don't got time.
What the hell?
One thing this generation, and I'll shut up. One thing this generation did usher in. It ushered in more content. It ushered in more content and more what do you call it? Not content providers, but more people that produce videos for YouTube and other media sources. So
content creators.
Yeah, content creators. Guys like us, right? We're the guys doing podcasts and stuff like that. We can do, you know, we stream our games on the PlayStation and on the Xbox and stuff like that. That has never been done before on a console where it created so many content providers. Right now, we're sitting here doing a podcast and we all met over gaming, right? So that happened this generation. So next generation, once they start giving us even more tools, possibly doing a Google Hangout straight from your console, or having an OBS type application straight on the console, then your PC is totally irrelevant to a gamer at that point, because any and everything you need can be done. I mean, think about it. You can stream the Mixer, you can stream the YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff already. You technically don't need a PC.
No, you don't. Literally.
So, you know, even the Elgatos are going to be a thing of the past. Once they have the more processing power to be able to do all that stuff, you'll be able to stream your 4K 60 HDR and stuff like that to YouTube or whatever medium you want to. So that's why I'm so excited for next generation on where, as a gamer, how can they better refine that stuff? How much more powerful these machines are going to be able to do the content creating stuff as well as the games, right? Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, I don't disagree with it. So yeah,
I slightly agree. You know what I'm saying? I feel that shit. It's nothing.
No, boy.
I didn't meet Thrash on gaming. I met him because when I came out the store, he asked me for $5.
Yep. That nigga gave me 10, old gullible ass nigga. Took advantage, nigga. We was friends for life then.
Talking about the Switch.
I love you, nigga.
Take your ass back to work. All right, y'all. I gotta go meet up with my girl and go see what she cook. I gotta go actually put some pepper and salt into the food she cooked because her cooking level, you know what I'm saying, pretty damn low.
It's not
that bad.
What you trying to say? She the Xbox of cooking?
She's the Xbox. Nigga, she's the Xbox. Hey, nigga, no, she's the Windows 2000 of cooking, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I don't know how she make salt and pepper, just a palm full of salt and pepper tastes better than your food. Like you could just eat the seasoning and just have better flavor. I don't know. I see her putting flavor in on. I see her put I don't know how she does.
That's all. She's not putting enough.
Either not enough or too much. She a pepper person. Enough.
You know
she one of those
spices. Yeah.
She one of them things who think pepper is more flavorful than salt or some shit. I don't know. I don't care. Nigga, pepper, nigga, a handful of pepper on some fish? Like, nigga, ketchup with her fruits and shit. I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? Like, you know what? Let's keep the rest gaming, nigga. I'm about to go solve some problems before they start.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I can understand that. Nobody wants to eat anything bland. I mean, at least not me. I gotta have my hot sauce or jerky or something like that.
You know when you eat something and like it got a flavor that don't make sense, so then when you breathe out your nose, you can taste it through your nose. You ever had that thing?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Lasagna. Yeah, my mom's lasagna is like that.
Yeah, it's like, damn, there's something off. I feel like Gordon Ramsay when I walk in there. Like, this is bland. This is dry. It's so dry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just acting like I'm walking there in Kitchen Nightmares or something. You know what I'm saying? Here's what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love her still, though. I love you, Dookie. Yeah, that's why I call
Go away.
I've never heard that before. Oh my God.
All right, then we'll go ahead and shut it on down. Then I appreciate everybody jumping on and coming in. Yeah, I'm reading some of these idiots on Twitter, man. When you all are talking, I'm just reading some of the stuff. And I mean, along with streaming and gaming partnership, and like this sounds like more than that. I'm like, no, it's pretty much they need help with that Azure cloud, so they need that AI to be done. So
I mean, this is just Twitter for you. You're just gonna have people with the disagreements or all the time.
You're right about that.
Have my few disagreements with some individuals, but whatever.
Before we take off here, Craig, have you? I understand you got a hot ass flight stick now. And they call it Anthony of 3VR365 calls it hot ass instead of HOTAS.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have it yet. I should be ordering it tomorrow. No, I can't get my Thrustmaster that I got to work on the Falcon video game. I got my plane started up. That took forever. My God, the steps I had to take was like starting an F-16. Like a real F-16.
I think it might be something with Thrustmaster because I can't get my Thrustmaster wheel to work on PC on any of the racing games. My PC sees that the wheel is there, but they're not working on any of the racing games. I can't calibrate it.
Well, okay, Lincoln, on that, right? I forgot to tell you. So you know the red button that's there, or the blue button or the green button when you plug it in on your console, right? Well, that same button, when you plug into the PC, you have to hold that button for about 3 seconds, and it'll switch to a different color. That means it's calibrating for PC.
Oh, which button you talking about?
Like the power button
on your joystick. Oh, you talking about the HOTAS
on his racing wheel?
Oh, on the racing wheel.
For the most part, it really isn't a power wheel. When you a power button, when you plug it up, it just I
get that, but there's a button on there. There's a button. So it's the power light. Whenever you plug it in, you see that power light, and that's an actual button. You have to press and hold that button for about 3 seconds, and it'll change to a different color. Most of the time, it's green or blue.
And that's it, and it'll start working on the.
Yeah. So you have one mode, right? That button mode is for PlayStation 4 or it's for the PC. So you have to do that back and forth whenever you switch between the two.
Okay, so now from what I understand, I have read up, and for PC, I understand you have to switch it over to PS3. We can talk about this
offline. I'm pretty sure they're bored of us.
Okay, yeah, no problem. But I'll go ahead and get an outro in. So I got to finish my workout here and then get some gaming in before I go to bed. So with that being said, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Lincoln Clay coming back at you. It was a pleasure being on the Porchlyte podcast. Shout out to Craig Harris for having me as a guest. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for coming on.
It's my pleasure.
I'll go ahead and give my outro.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Everybody's been great. It's your boy Kratos, aka J-Dub. You guys know where to find me on Twitter, JDubCity16. Keeping you guys laughing with all the gifts and the memes. You know what I mean? Y'all know I act the fool out there. Just entertaining y'all. Hope y'all laugh.
There you go. Tron, go ahead. Pierre, are you gone?
Yeah, work.
Oh, yeah, she
dipped. All right. Well, Fatal, you want to give a shout out real quick before we hang it up here, or is everybody headed down?
Yeah, no. My bad.
No, you're good.
Yeah, Fatal here. Thanks for having me on your show there, Craig. I appreciate it.
Nah, no problem. Anytime, bro. Anytime. But yeah, all right, guys.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you having me on, my brother.
Diver, anytime, brother. Anytime. Like I said, you're welcome anytime. But all right, guys, we're gonna jump on off here. The Porchlyte ran a little bit late, but it was a big news day, it looks like. So yeah, we out of here, guys, and listen to it later on tonight. Listen to it all night long.
That's what she said.
That's what she says. Take it easy, guys. Peace.